Hello guys, this is Sairam Kanti. So today's video is about a video which was made 4 years ago. I made a project, homemade air conditioner for $50. So many people had questions on how I made it and they wanted a step-by-step explanation. But yeah, it's too late, but still I hope that this video is going to help many people if they are doing their projects ahead which is related to air conditioning or heating, ventilation, etc. So I'm going to explain you guys on how to make a mini air conditioner from an old refrigerator or a fridge that is not working anymore or is useless at house. Okay. So once we just have a look at this diagram, there are three main parts which you need to gather out of a refrigerator. I mean, you need to just extract those parts out of the refrigerator and they will be certainly there inside every fridge. So the first part is the compressor, the black cylindrical kind of thing, heavy metal nugget kind of thing which is located at the bottom of the fridge. Second one is the evaporator coil. Evaporator coil is essentially located in the deep fridge section or the place where you generally make ice cubes. And the condenser section is located on the back side of the refrigerator. You can identify this kind of pattern which is located on the back side of a refrigerator. So this thing is visible in old models of refrigerators, but in new models a new metal sheet is added so that it looks really good and it has some benefits. So we are going to first discuss the process of evaporation, condensation and compression quickly. Then we are going to discuss about how to assemble the parts which we collected previously, which are compressor, evaporator and condenser. Okay, so the process is this thing. We use two gases, two most popular gases which are known as refrigerants. They are R34A and Freon. So these are available commercially in the market. Okay, so what do we do is the compressor pulls in the refrigerant. These are all, the black line whichever is going is completely copper tube, but the diameter of the copper tube depends. Okay, it changes from one stage to other stage. So let us assume, for now let us assume everything is copper tube. So here the copper tubes are filled with either R34A or Freon gas. So the compressor has a cylinder and a piston which runs in cycles with the help of an electric motor. Okay. So once the motor spins, the piston starts compressing the refrigerant gas. So once it compresses, it turns into liquid and the hot pressurized liquid passes through this copper tube. I have indicated with red color because it is hot and it is pressurized and it is in liquid state. Okay, so it passes through here, it goes into the condenser coil. Here the temperature is reduced but it is still in liquid state. So here we have an expansion tube wherein the liquid is suddenly subjected to immediate expansion. Okay, so once it expands, what happens is the temperature of the refrigerant is going to drop rapidly. It goes into negative temperatures such as -30 or -35 or anything. It depends on the power of the compressor and the gas used and the outside temperature also. So once it becomes gas, here I have indicated the copper tube with blue color because everything is happening at low pressure and low temperature and it's in gaseous state. Okay, so as it expands, the copper tube which goes from the expansion duct to the evaporator, essentially this part is known as the capillary and it is a thin copper tube. It is specially used to navigate the gas till evaporator. Okay, so once the gas goes through the capillary to the evaporator, it just passes through this. I told you as the temperature drops, this thing is very short, the length is very short, it is just coiled. Once it goes through evaporator, the evaporator is made up of aluminium frame and copper tubing inside that. So as soon as this negative temperature gas passes through this evaporator coil, this thing becomes really cold and it starts accumulating ice on it. Ice is accumulated because as it becomes cold, it pulls all the moisture which is around it and it just gets freezed over there. And after that, it just comes back into the compressor in the gaseous form and again the same cycle repeats. So essentially, this is the main working principle of an air conditioner or any other system you take basically which is related to this HVAC systems. Air conditioning in cars or automobiles work in the same principle just that the compressor is driven electrically. There it is connected to the crankshaft, not directly, but it is connected to the engine. Engine is the one which drives the compressor over there. Okay, so here so let's come back to our thing where we need to build a small air conditioner out of an old refrigerator. Okay, so once you have these things, the compressor, condenser and evaporator, so these coils, how you need to get out, the simple thing is, the first thing is, like, once you have your refrigerator, it will be still having the refrigerant gas inside the copper tubes, which is in high pressure and low pressure at different points, and that is flammable. So it is having some risk if you cut the copper tubes directly. It may catch fire and some kind of accident may happen. So just to avoid that, you could hold one end of the copper tube and start bending it continuously, so that the tension in the copper tube dies and eventually the liquid escapes. And make sure that you wear safety glasses and take all the precautions. So once that is done, somehow you separate the compressor, evaporator and the condenser. So after that is done, what you can do is, these things were essentially in the refrigerator in some other configuration, but in order to make your own mini air conditioner, you need to decrease the form factor or the size. So what we need to do is, this thing has to stay outside because this gets hot. This thing is the one which stays inside your room, which gets cold. We will be buying 2 DC fans or any fan which can blow good amount of air. You have to hook one fan below the evaporator and one below the condenser, so that you liberate off the heat from the condenser to the outside of the room, and you just pull in all the cold air from the evaporator into the room. Okay, so make sure the copper tube lengths are good enough and they should be satisfying, such that these two things stay inside and this can stay outside. Even you can keep the compressor outside, but it depends on the tubing length and your convenience. Okay, so once all the parts are gathered, depending on the tube length, once you feel that okay, this thing fits in my window well, or this thing fits on the top of the room anywhere, so once the copper tube lengths are fixed, go to a technician and just make sure he welds all the copper tubes properly. After welding is done, you can buy one of the refrigerants outside, and depending on the compressor and the tubing length, the amount of the volume of refrigerant which has to be pumped into this is determined. So for mine, I used 1 liter of refrigerant. Generally it is 1 liter for all standard refrigerators. So anything beyond that, the quantity changes. And depending on the power of this compressor, the diameter of the capillary tube is dependent. They both are interlinked. So if your compressor has some X power, like 3 horsepower or 4 horsepower, then the diameter of this thing may increase. Okay, so this one is not fixed. So you can find the relation between the power of the compressor and the diameter of the capillary tube on various forms and websites. So that's about that. Alright, thank you guys. So if you have any questions regarding this, please drop your questions in the comment section below. And if you want some new videos about any technologies, let me know. And there are a bunch of videos which are coming ahead in this week and the next week. So stay tuned. Thank you guys.